What's going on, guys? How's it going out there? I hope y'all are doing well. I hope y'all are staying safe. Yeah, I can't talk. Apparently, it's been too long of a day. But I hope y'all are staying safe out there, and I hope you're gonna get to see your families here soon if you're not already at home. If you're a truck driver out there on the road right now, I just hope you're able to see your family soon. That's the important thing, right? That's what we're all out here for. Speaking of which. That's pretty much what my topic is all about right now. When there's one thing that truck drivers have an abundance of time for, and that's to think. While you're on the road, you do a lot of thinking, from politics to diet to cars to family, whatever. You think about everything. I mean, it's amazing how much can run through your mind in the matter, during your shift. And it's just, and it's your mind is a computer that you cannot turn off, and it's constantly processing new information. It's just constantly going until you get this tired, until you've been working for hours and hours and hours and hours and looked at nothing but the white dotted lines as you pass them for 250, 300 miles straight. Then your mind starts to just kind of wander, but I caught myself tonight, and this happens from time to time. I'll just think about how fortunate I am. I'll think about my family a lot. I would be willing to bet that that's probably what most drivers think about, is their family, more often than not. But I think about just how lucky I am, and depending on who you are, what you believe in, it may not be luck, it may be blessed, whatever word or qualifier you want to use, that's on you. But I like to say fortunate. I'm a very fortunate guy. I have an amazing wife at home. I have two incredible kids. My daughter she's 3 years old, and it's just amazing what she learns every day, and the phrases that she says, that she speaks, and the things that she says, and her attitude, although it gets her in trouble, you can't help but laugh. It's one of those things. She'll talk back to her mom or me, but it's very clever. that's the pain. That's the irony of it. It's very cleverly put sometimes, and you really gotta hide your laughter if you want to scold her, because obviously, you gotta teach your kids not to talk back, but it's so hard not to laugh sometimes. But she last week, when I was on the road, my wife told me that she was trying to get our daughter to do something, and she didn't want to, and my wife was getting a little impatient, rightfully so. Our daughter wasn't listening to what her mom was asking her to do. And so finally, my daughter turned to my wife and said, "I'm playing right now, have patience." That right there should have just been, grounds for immediate punishment. But how do you not laugh when a 3-year-old gets so serious and says something like that? You know, that it's the hardships of parenting, right? But things like that, it just shows what she's learning. It shows how far she's come in the last 3 years. And again, it's proof as to how fortunate I am to have her in my life. And then my son, of course, you know, he's now just a little over 3 months old. And obviously he's not talking yet, but just his personality, it's developing. He's becoming his own. He's becoming his own. Everything, you know, his smile. He's, you know, I mean, all I have to do is talk to him and he smiles. You know, when I come home, it's almost like if I didn't know any better, I'd say that he missed me. You know, if I didn't know any better, I'd say that when I came home and he saw me, he missed me. And you know, I don't know. I'm sure that's not the case. I mean, 3 months old, he doesn't understand that kind of stuff. But it's rewarding, to say the least, as a dad. And it's especially rewarding as a dad that works so hard, you know. And I try to be biased, you know. I don't like to brag about how hard of a worker I am or my work ethic, because it'll always come off as arrogant, you know. But truth be told, I do believe that I have a very good work ethic, and I believe that I learned that from my dad and my mom and my stepdad and my stepmom. You know, I learned it from them. Because I come from a family of hard workers. You know, my dad, he owned 2 businesses at one time. He owned a printing business that was pretty well known in my hometown for almost 20 years. And for the last couple years that he owned that, he also ran a 90-acre farm. You know, and that's obviously hard work. So the work ethic, I really learned a lot. And I'm very fortunate to say that because of my work ethic, that you know, I can look back and I can think about what I'm able to provide. Just that I am able to provide for my family, you know, comfortably for the most part. Now, I'm not going to get rich driving a truck. At least not, you know, I mean, you can get rich doing anything, really. You just got to, you've got to persevere. You've got to follow the right steps, you know. But as a company driver, you know, you're not really going to get rich. You can be comfortable, you know, and, you know, I mean, I do pretty good, you know. You know, I make just, you know, I make right around, you know, the 80,000 mark. And, you know, that's as a company driver. And I'm really only gone 4 days a week. You know, I'm usually home, you know, 2 to 3 days straight. You know, that's not, you know, yeah, I mean, in a row, 2 or 3 consecutive days in a row, I'm usually home for. So I'm able to spend some pretty quality time with my family when I'm home. And you know what that affords me is, you know, we're able to do things. You know, we have a roof over our head. We're never hungry. Obviously, we're never hungry. I'm never hungry. My family's never hungry. You know, we just went out. You know, I love cars. I'm a big car guy. In fact, I have another YouTube channel, which I haven't really been too active on here lately because I haven't had time. But it's dedicated to cars, dedicated to reviewing cars and things like that. And, and talking about cars and showing how to do basic maintenance like oil changes and things like that. And if you wanted to go check it out, I've only got, I don't know, 10 videos on there right now. But it's the Family Man Car Reviews is what it's called, the channel. And I've always been a car guy. I love anything with an engine, with engine and tires and wheels and whatever. I just love cars. Primarily Jeeps. I'm a definite Jeep guy, which I'm going to make a video about the new Jeep Wrangler here soon. I'm going to actually put that on both channels, on this one and on the other one, because I know a lot of truck drivers out there are Jeep enthusiasts. Jeep is a very American, it's a very American based icon. They say Jeep and Corvette are the two most American vehicles as far as history goes. You got the Corvette that is one of the original American sports cars, and then you've got the Jeep, which has served in many wars and provided our troops with much need for transportation. And it's been a fantastic. They're very nimble and been great four-wheel drives. Very reliable and basic up until the last decade or so. But just very, they're, people think of Jeeps as companions, you know what I mean? It's like I said, it's not a stranger to truck drivers. A lot of truck drivers are Jeep guys. But anyway, that'll be for another video. But there's just like last weekend. Well, let me say this. For Christmas in 2012, I bought my then fiance, now wife, a Toyota RAV4 Limited. It was only 2 years old. All the bells and whistles, only 20,000 miles on it. We bought that with the intent of it being a family vehicle, and because we obviously wanted to have a family, we wanted to grow, we wanted to have kids, and then we had our daughter, and then we realized, holy cow, this RAV4 really isn't that big. So I went out and bought a 2006 Ford Expedition, actually the day after Christmas last year. I went out and bought a 2006 Ford Expedition, and I love that truck. I had some issues with it when I bought it. The spark plugs were bad, and the spark plugs in a Ford 5.4 Triton are no walk in the park to change. I'll tell you that. They're not your basic spark plug change. In fact, they're so difficult that a lot of mechanics, when you call and ask them, how much they would charge to replace them, they hang up on you. They don't want anything to do with them. Well, I changed them myself, except for one, because I couldn't get my chubby hands to the very back, even after taking the ECM off the firewall. I couldn't reach the far spark plug, but it took me 9 hours just to get 7 of the 8 spark plugs changed. That's how bad they were. But anyway, so I bought that because it was bigger. It had 3 rows, and of course, I wanted a half-ton SUV, and because we have a camper, so I wanted a half-ton SUV, and of course, I have to have 4-wheel drive. I love 4-wheel drive. And then my wife, then we had our son, and here lately, my wife she's basically commandeered my Ford from me. So, I've been driving my Jeep to work. Well, that thing's got almost 220,000 miles on it. It's a 95 Wrangler. Runs like a champ, though. I tell you what, I'm never worried it's going to break down on me. But, still 220,000 miles. And, so I've been driving that. It's a full soft top. So when it gets down below 20 degrees, it's pretty nipply. It gets a little chilly in there, even with the heat fully cranked. But, you know, I've been driving that. So anyways, you know, my wife hasn't been driving her RAV4 at all. And I'm like, you know what, really, we really just need to get rid of this RAV4, you know. And my wife always swore up and down she'd never buy a minivan. Well, we went out and bought a minivan last weekend. But, you know, really nice Toyota Sienna minivan. You know, it's an older one. It's fairly older. It's 2011, but they're basically unchanged from 2011 to now. Very minor cosmetic differences that if you know, don't know much about vehicles, you wouldn't even notice these differences, you know. But anyway, you know, so we bought one of those, and, you know, super nice. And I can't believe I actually like it. It's a minivan. I really can't believe I like it. But anyway, I feel so fortunate that I'm able to go out and buy a new car for my wife. You know, like I said, have a roof over our head, you know. Right now we're actually currently looking to buy a house, you know, so, you know, it's nice being able to do that. We take you know, a nice vacation every year. And I know it sounds like I'm being pompous and I'm bragging about it, but I'm just proud, you know. I've gotten here because I've been a hard worker. You know, I haven't really, you know, I don't like charity. I you know, I work for what I have. And so there's nothing wrong with feeling proud, you know. There's nothing wrong with that at all. Especially when you're proud that you're supporting your family. There's absolutely nothing wrong with that. Like I said, there might be some people that think it's arrogant and whatnot. And I by no means try to claim that I'm rich or anything. I don't, you know, there's plenty of people out there that make I'm a drop in the bucket. But I'm able to be comfortable. And it's a good feeling, you know. You know, I'm able to take, you know, I'm able to take my family to the doctor, you know, stuff like that. And it's funny because, you know, when I was a kid, I can remember thinking to myself, you know, will I be able to provide? It sounds so dumb, but I remember thinking, man, you know, how will I provide, you know, when I get to be my parents' age? You know, it's like, how do they do that? But it's just hard work, a lot of it. And you know, it's like, and just every now and again, when I'm driving down the road, you know, and, you know, say my wife sends me a random picture, you know, of her and the kids, and it just clicks. I'm just like, wow, that's, you know, that's my family, you know. And I think about, you know, like I said, I think about how I support them. I think about everything. You know, I just think about how, again, just how fortunate I am to be able to do what we do and to have, most importantly, the family that I have. But, you know, like I said, that's basically what this video is. It's rambling. I'm tired. I do need to get to bed here. I don't know when they're going to unload me. I'm in a door, but I don't know if they're going to unload me anytime soon or not. Technically, my appointment's at 7 a.m. So, I don't know, you know. I don't know what they're going to do. Sometimes when they aren't busy, they will unload me pretty quick, but they said they're kind of busy tonight, so we'll see. But anyways, guys, you know, like I said, I'm gonna do a video. I might use my GoPro and do that video on the new Jeep Wrangler. maybe on my way home in the morning, because I've got a GoPro mount in my Ford on the dash. So I might use the GoPro. I have it with me. I rarely use the GoPro, but I might use that on my way home and talk about the new Jeep Wrangler, which is designated the JL, and tell you what I like about it and whatnot. So yeah, I'm gonna go and get off here and hit the sack. So I hope you all have a good one out there, and stay safe, guys. Stay safe. Don't be dumb. Just stay safe. You've got your family to go home to. You can't forget that. You've got people. Even if you don't have kids or a wife, you have somebody that wants you to come home. So be safe. That's all I can say, man. And if you do have loved ones at home, just like my dad always tells me every time I get off the phone with him, hug them like there's no tomorrow. Just tomorrow's not guaranteed. So just hug your family, and think about how blessed or fortunate or lucky, whatever, like I said, whatever qualifier you want to use, just be grateful. Be grateful for the time that you can spend with your family. But with that said, y'all, I'm gonna get off here and, like I said, go to bed and wait for them to get me unloaded. And God, my lips are dry. And wait for them to get me unloaded, and then once I'm done here, I can go home for the weekend. So it's Friday morning, so I'll be home early Friday. Be home till Monday morning. It's something else I'm thankful for. I'm fortunate for is my job. Very, very fortunate for my job. So anyways, now I'm just really rambling. Holy cow. All right, guys, we'll see you all later, okay? Take care.